The first thing, setting challenging learning goals, means set goals for individuals, teams, and organizations. And encourage the people involved to leave their comfort zone. Within the comfort zone, there's no learning. It's well-being there, you know, like yesterday evening. But to learn something, you have to be a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit out of the box, a little out of the line. And many people think, and some people experience, that to achieve this, you have to do that. It's not necessarily so. Sometimes it may be necessary, but in many of the work I do, it's very down to the ground, workshops, learning, exercising, practicing, so nothing exotic. Okay? And stay realistic and treat the two impulses, euphoria and skepticism, just the same. Some people say, I'm running in front, and others say, oh, this is not going to work. Both are very important to bring them down to earth and stay realistic. Okay, this was this acknowledgement that I already mentioned. People sometimes feel like this, mostly in the state of incompetence, and this is the development they can make. And if they do not really realize what they learned, I ask them, as I asked before, how did you live? What kind of person have you been 5 minutes ago? And then they come to the conclusion, hey, yes, I did this, I gathered that information, I gathered that skill, so they become conscious that they can develop themselves. Then, as I said, head, heart, and hands are to be employed, and that means not only provide knowledge for the head, but train the knowledge. Let it apply directly in the daily life, in the daily business. And let the people make their own experiences. This often is very difficult for managers. To really say, okay, I can tell the people there's the wall, but at least once I give them a chance to experience it. So if they run against it, say, hey, the door is 2 meters to the left. But then they will understand. This is a very important thing. Okay, strong link, and but it's very important, watch for the emotional learning process. People will only accept knowledge if it's really anchored, if I like it, if I see it as my own, and if I can even be proud of it. And even anger, eagerness, fears are all part of the learning process. And many processes that only focus on knowledge stop or do not go further or go very slowly because heart and hands are not involved. This is another extreme that you do not have. Yes, so this is the highest challenge. I don't know who said this. There's no such thing as failure, there's only feedback. This goes against any experience, against any education, because in many education, parents do the best as they can. I know for myself. But you can't escape blaming, you can't escape shouting or having fears, and so people learn making a fault is a disaster. And you could do it like, this is a story, I don't know if it's true, but it's very good. Mr. Edison, who invented the light bulb, he had to make thousands of experiments to make it. And when he finished the 2000th experiment, some person who hated him said, hey, are you going to make your 2000th failure complete? I said, no, I just learned 2000 ways of not inventing the light bulb. So this is what is meant with this saying, And a very famous poet of Germany, Goethe, says, stumbling furthers. So I know there's a stone. To avoid it the next time. So strive towards an acceptive attitude in regards to one-time faults. and convert them into learning plans. And you could do that during a workshop while you ask, what did you learn? Or what did not go well? Where did we fail? Do you have an idea why? And then even thank you for the feedback, acknowledging this. And so people say, hey, my head is not cut off, I don't get that sticker loser of the day or something like this. It is even encouraged. Great. Huh? So avoid blaming and encourage the reporting of faults. Sure, insist in the correction of faults and insist in the sharing of the experience. Not, I've learned the door is 2 meters to the left. I say, okay, so I let Thomas run against the wall because it's so funny. I say, no, Thomas, hey, the door is 2 meters left. Yeah? So he does not necessarily have to make this experience. Yep. Okay, so set learning milestones, evaluate it, introduce a learning diary. That is one thing that you can do. And evaluate the learning during the project. So the guy to the left says, I joined the Workaholics Anonymous, but now I have no time to go there. And the guy to the left has has a lot of in, nothing of out, and is pretty happy. Okay. So expect delays, results, and surprises. I already talked about that. And ask for resistances. If there are none, be very careful. It's like icebergs, you know? The problem is underneath the water. And sometimes you have to motivate people to see their progress. This I mentioned a lot. Set milestones, give feedback, help people to make learning processes usable. Correct learning goals when they are proven too challenging. This is very important. Sometimes people are very eager, they set high goals, and sometimes you have to kind of set them down. And establish a routine of learning evaluation, not only of goal evaluation, but of learning evaluation. It should be a normal routine within your daily life. Not every week, but maybe every month. And celebrate. And if nobody wants to celebrate with you, do it on your own. It's okay.